Look at a lion. It has claws and teeth, a real weapon. Look at a bear. It has pure strength. Right? It can crush things. Look at a cheetah. It has speed. Nothing can outrun it. Now, look at a human. We don't have much. No sharp claws, no thick hide. We aren't very strong. Well, we can't outrun a deer. On our own in the wild, we are pretty useless. A single human is a good meal for a lot of animals. So, how did we get here? How did this fragile, slow, weak ape end up running the whole planet? It's a good question. The answer seems to be a single thing. It's not our brains, not exactly. It's not our hands, though they help. It's teamwork. Our ability to cooperate in huge numbers with incredible flexibility is our evolutionary superpower. It's the thing that let us beat the lions and the bears. It's what built the world we live in. This didn't happen overnight. It was a long, slow process. It started millions of years ago on the plains of Africa. Our ancestors were leaving the trees. The forests were shrinking. The savanna opened up. This new world was dangerous. It was full of predators. Food was spread out. You had to travel to find it. Being alone was a death sentence. Our early ancestors, like the Australopithecines, were small. They were prey. But they started to do something crucial. They started to live in groups. Living in a group is a basic form of defense. More eyes to spot danger, more bodies to mob a predator. A lone hyena might attack one of our ancestors. It would think twice about attacking 10 of them. This is basic safety in numbers. Many animals do this, but for us it was just the beginning. The real change started when we began walking on two legs. Bipedalism. It seems like a simple thing, but it changed the game. Walking upright freed our hands. Hands are amazing. You can carry food, you can carry babies, and you can carry tools. The first tools were just rocks, simple choppers, but a rock in your hand is better than a claw. A group of our ancestors, each with a rock, was a serious problem for a predator. And those free hands allowed us to share. This is a huge step. A chimp might find some fruit. It will eat it on the spot. It's hard for it to carry that food back to the group. A human ancestor could gather a bunch of nuts or roots, hold them in their arms, and walk back to a home base. They could share with others. Sharing food builds bonds. It creates a network of trust. I feed you today. You feed me tomorrow. This is the foundation of a real team. This sharing created a new dynamic. It created a division of labor. Some could go out and hunt or scavenge. Others could stay closer to home, taking care of the young and gathering plants. This is much more efficient than everyone doing everything for themselves. The group becomes a single economic unit. The hunters bring back meat, a rare but valuable food. The gatherers bring back plants, a reliable and steady source of calories. Everyone benefits. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. This system especially helped our children. Human babies are born completely helpless. They stay helpless for years. A chimpanzee baby can cling to its mother's fur. A human baby can't. A mother with a newborn is vulnerable. She can't easily gather food for herself. But in a cooperative group, others can help. Grandmothers, aunts, fathers, siblings. They can bring her food. They can hold the baby. This is called alloparenting. It means other parenting. It allows mothers to have more children more quickly. And it means children grow up in a rich social world, learning from many different people. Our long, helpless childhood is only possible because of teamwork. That childhood is also where our big brains have time to grow and learn. But to make all this work, you need more than just hands and a willingness to share. You need a new kind of mind, you need a social brain, and that's how we started to evolve. Our brains got bigger and bigger over a few million years, but it wasn't just size. They were getting rewired for cooperation. One of the most important new skills was something called theory of mind. It's a simple idea with a fancy name. It just means understanding that other people have minds of their own. They have thoughts, beliefs, and intentions that are different from yours. You can try to guess what they're thinking. A dog knows if you're angry, but it doesn't really wonder why you're angry. It just reacts to your tone. Humans are different. I can see you looking at the last piece of fruit. I can guess that you want it. I can also decide to let you have it to build goodwill. Or I can try to trick you into looking away so I can grab it. This ability to get inside another's head is the oil that lubricates teamwork. How can you hunt together if you can't guess what your partner is going to do next? You see him move to the left. You anticipate he is trying to flank the animal. So you move to the right. You are coordinating your actions based on a shared understanding of the goal and a shared understanding of each other's intentions. This is a level of cooperation that other animals just can't match. Then comes an even more powerful skill. shared intentionality. This is the ability to form a we. It's not just me and you acting in parallel. It's us doing something together. Think about two people carrying a heavy log. They have to lift at the same time. They have to walk at the same pace. They have a shared goal, move the log from here to there. They adjust their own actions in real time based on the actions of the other. This is shared intentionality in its simplest form. Now imagine that with a whole group. We are going to hunt that mammoth. It's not just a bunch of individuals trying to kill a mammoth. It's a team with a plan. You will throw spears from this side to distract it. You will come from behind to cut its legs. I will wait for it to fall. Each person has a role. Each person trusts that the others will do their part. This is how a bunch of weak apes could take down an animal that weighed 10 tons. They use their minds to become a single, coordinated predator. And what ties all of this together? The language. The development of language was probably the single biggest catalyst for our superpower. At first, it might have been simple gestures and grunts. Lion, water over there. Good fruit. But over time, it became more and more complex. Language lets you share information with incredible precision. You can talk about things that aren't right in front of you. You can talk about the past. Remember that spot where we found the berries last year? You can talk about the future. Tomorrow, if the sun is out, we will go to the river to hunt. Language allows for planning. It allows for teaching. An elder can pass down a lifetime of knowledge without the student having to learn it all the hard way. Don't eat the red berries, they make you sick. The blue ones are good. This is how you chip a rock to make a sharp edge. This creates culture. Culture is a shared pool of knowledge and skills that gets passed down and built upon through generations. It's like a collective brain. A single human has one lifetime of experience. A human group connected by language has access to thousands of lifetimes of experience. The language also helps us manage our social world. We can use it to build reputations. We can gossip. Gossip gets a bad rap, but it's an important social tool. It tells you who is a reliable partner. Who cheats? Who is lazy? Who can you trust? In a group that depends on cooperation, knowing who to cooperate with is critical. Our language allows us to keep track of a complex network of relationships. The anthropologist Robin Dunbar came up with the social brain hypothesis. The idea is that our brains didn't grow big to solve problems about the physical world, like how to make a tool. They grew big to solve problems about the social world. How to keep track of who is friends with who owes who a favor, who is a rival. She found a correlation between the size of a primate's brain, specifically the neocortex, and the size of its typical social group. For humans, the natural group size seems to be about 150 people. This is known as Dunbar's number. It's the rough number of people you can know and maintain stable social relationships with. For millions of years, this was our world. A small, tight-knit band of relatives and friends. A team. Let's look at how this superpower played out in real life. Hunting is the most dramatic example. Early humans were probably scavengers at first. They'd wait for a lion to finish a kill, then rush in with rocks to scare it away and steal the leftovers. This takes courage and coordination. Later, we became the hunters. One famous technique is persistence hunting. Humans aren't fast sprinters, but we are the best long-distance runners on the planet. We can sweat. Most animals can't. They have to pant to cool down. They can't pant and gallop at the same time. So a team of human hunters could track a big animal, like a kudu. They would chase it. The kudu would sprint away. The humans would just jog after it, following its tracks. The kudu would rest. The humans would catch up, and the chase would start again. This could go on for hours, under the hot African sun. Eventually, the animal would collapse from heat exhaustion. The hunters, sweating and cooling themselves, could just walk up and finish the job. This is a hunt that relies not on speed or strength, but on teamwork, tracking, and our unique biology. It requires a shared plan and the endurance to see it through. But hunting wasn't the whole story. For most of our history, gathered plants were the main source of food, and gathering was also a team sport. Women in hunter-gatherer societies often worked together. They could protect each other from predators. They could share knowledge about which plants were ripe, where to find them, and how to prepare them. And they could help each other with childcare. A woman could leave her child with another trusted adult while she dug for roots. This cooperative network made life more stable and predictable. Teamwork wasn't just for getting food. It was for survival. It was for defense against other human groups. Because there is a dark side to this superpower. The same instincts that make us so good at cooperating with our own group also make us wary and hostile towards other groups. This is the woos versus them mentality. For most of our history, we lived in a world where the people in our band were our lifeline. And we depended on them for everything. Strangers were a potential threat. They might compete for the same resources. They might be violent. So we evolved a powerful sense of in group loyalty. We are quick to form teams and to feel a deep connection to our teammates. We are also quick to see the world in terms of our team versus their team. This psychology is deep within us. It's why we love sports. Our city's team is us. The other team is them. A victory for our team feels like a personal victory. A loss feels like a personal defeat. This is our tribal mind at play. In the past, this instinct was essential for survival. Loyalty to your tribe and suspicion of other tribes was a good strategy. In a world of scarce resources, the groups that outcompeted other groups were the ones that survived and passed on their genes. So, our superpower for teamwork is also the root of warfare, racism, and all the conflicts that arise from drawing a line between us and them. Our greatest strength is also our greatest weakness. For hundreds of thousands of years, we lived in these small bands of about 150 people. Our cooperative abilities were perfectly tuned for that scale, but then about 10,000 years ago, something changed. We invented agriculture. This was a revolution. Instead of chasing our food, we started to grow it. We settled down in one place. Populations began to grow, villages turned into towns turned into cities. Now we had a new problem. Our social brains were built for life in a small tribe where you know everyone. How do you get thousands, or even millions, of strangers to cooperate? You can't rely on personal relationships anymore. You need something else. You need to scale up your teamwork. The solution was another product of our unique minds. We invented stories, shared myths. We created gods, kings, nations, and laws. These are all things that don't exist in the physical world. You can't touch a nation. You can't see a law, they are fictions that we all agree to believe in. And because we all believe in the same story, we can cooperate on a massive scale. Think about religion. A shared belief in a god and a set of moral rules can bind millions of people together. They trust each other even if they are strangers because they belong to the same faith. They follow the same rules, they work together to build huge cathedrals or temples, projects that would be impossible for a small tribe. Think about a nation. What is a country? It's a story we tell ourselves. A story about a shared history, a shared culture, a shared destiny. Because we believe in the idea of America or France or Japan, millions of people will pay taxes, obey laws, and even go to war to defend that idea. A soldier will risk his life for his country, for people he has never met. This is large-scale cooperation based on a shared myth. Money is another one of these stories. A dollar bill is just a piece of paper. It has no real value. But we all agree to believe that it has value, and because of that shared belief, I can give a piece of paper to a stranger, and he will give me a loaf of bread. This allows for a global economic system. It allows a person in Japan to cooperate with a person in Brazil to create a product, even though they don't know each other, don't speak the same language, and will never meet. They are connected by the shared myth of money. So we used our storytelling ability to hack our own psychology. We extended our in-group circle from 150 people to millions. We created these imagined communities that allowed our superpower of teamwork to build civilization. We built pyramids, we built the Roman aqueducts, we wrote symphonies, we went to the moon. Every single one of these achievements is a monument to human cooperation. Not a single person could build a skyscraper. Not a single person could invent the internet. Not a single person could create a vaccine. These things are the product of thousands, sometimes millions, of minds working together, sharing information, and coordinating their actions over time and space. My smartphone is a perfect example. Where did it come from? The design came from engineers in California. The microchips were made in Taiwan. The screen was made in South Korea. The rare earth metals were mined in Africa. It was assembled in a factory in China. It was shipped on a boat built in Europe, running on oil from the Middle East. It was delivered to my house by a person driving a truck powered by gasoline that came from a refinery in Texas. Millions of people, most of whom we'll never meet, cooperated to put this device in my hand. That is the power of human teamwork, scaled up to a global level. So is teamwork still our superpower today? Yes, more than ever, but we are also facing problems on a scale our ancestors never imagined. Problems like climate change, pandemics, and nuclear weapons. These are global problems. They threaten all of us no matter what nation or tribe we belong to, and they can only be solved with global cooperation. Here is the challenge. Our brains are still running on the old software, the software that was designed for a world of small, competing tribes. Our us versus them instinct is still incredibly powerful. It's easy for us to cooperate with our in group. It's much harder for us to cooperate with the whole of humanity. We are still dividing the world into teams. My country versus your country. My political party versus your political party. My religion versus your religion. This tribalism is preventing us from tackling our biggest challenges. Climate change requires every nation to work together, but some nations don't want to cooperate if they feel others aren't doing their fair share. A pandemic requires a coordinated global response, but we saw countries competing for masks and vaccines, hoarding resources, instead of working for the common good. Our superpower created the modern world. It gave us science, technology, and a global society. But the dark side of that same superpower, our tendency towards tribal conflict, now threatens to tear it all down. We have the cooperative abilities of gods, but the instincts of a territorial ape. So the question for the future is whether we can overcome our old programming. Can we learn to expand our circle of us to include everyone? Can we use our amazing ability to tell stories to create a new story? A story where humanity itself is the team. A story where the opponent isn't another country, but our shared problems, a warming planet, a deadly virus, our own ignorance. It's a tall order, but our history shows we are capable of amazing things when we work together. We started as a weak, vulnerable animal on the savannah. We were surrounded by predators faster and stronger than us. We shouldn't have survived, but we did. We survived because we learned to trust each other. We learned to communicate. We learned to work as a team. We cooperated our way to the top of the food chain. We cooperated our way to every corner of the globe. Everything we have built, everything we have achieved, we did together. That core ability is still in us. The same impulse that led our ancestors to share food around a fire is the same impulse that leads scientists to share data to cure a disease. The same ability to form a shared goal that helped a hunting party bring down a mammoth is what we need to tackle climate change. We are not the strongest species. We are not the fastest. But we are, without a doubt, the most cooperative. That has always been our edge. It is our defining characteristic. It is our superpower. The only question is how we will choose to use it now.